Hello, I'm Kaiser and welcome to Moose Reads. Before I get started, I want to say that the opinions that I give here are my own opinions. They are extremely subjective. If I dislike a book, it is not a reflection on the author, and it is not a reflection on people who do like it. Different people have different tastes, and that's okay. Today, I will be reviewing Prince's Gambit by C.S. Pacat, which is the second book in the Captive Prince trilogy. It is a fantasy romance. The description says, with their countries on the brink of war, Damon and his new master, Prince Laurent, must exchange their intrigues of the palace for the sweeping might of the battlefield as they travel to the border to avert a lethal plot. Forced to hide his identity, Damon finds himself increasingly drawn to the dangerous, charismatic Laurent. But as the fledgling trust between the two men deepens, the truth of secrets from both their pasts is poised to deal them a final, devastating blow. 4 stars. At the end of the last book, Damon and Laurent came to a truce. Damon has figured out that the regent is trying to kill his nephew and start a war with Achilleos, and since he doesn't want that second part, he's willing to work with Laurent to prevent both. Laurent has grudgingly accepted his help because his uncle failed to predict how Damon would act, and that saved his life once already, so maybe Damon can turn the tables for once. This book is almost entirely Laurent and the Regent trying to outmaneuver each other in the most ridiculous ways. Pretty much every plot point is Laurent doing something, the Regent anticipating it and preparing a counter-move, Laurent anticipating this anticipation and preparing his own counter-move, and so on and so forth. The labyrinthine plots the pair of them get up to in this book is absurd, and honestly strains belief. This is also where we start to see Damon and Laurent growing closer. This is another point on which I can understand a lot of people hating this series. Technically, Damon is still Laurent's slave for the entirety of this book, so the two of them getting involved is a little iffy. For my part, it doesn't bother me. At pretty much every point, it's made clear that Damon could leave whenever he chooses, and is staying because he wants to. There isn't really a power imbalance between them, and the fact that Damon has ever acted as Laurent's slave is more of a hurdle for them to overcome than a contributing factor in their getting close. Truth is, I'm a sucker for enemies to lovers, so this is right up my alley. I get that it's not everyone's thing, though. That's it for no spoilers. If you don't like spoilers, now is the time to pause or close the video. For everyone else, let's talk details. As I said, the convoluted back-and-forth scheming that Laurent and his uncle do in this book gets pretty ridiculous. I also think it causes a minor plot issue. As soon as they arrive at the border, a group of Achillean soldiers attack a nearby town and kill pretty much everyone. This, they say, is retaliation for an attack on one of their own border towns. The people that attacked the Achillean town weren't Varetian, but they believe that Ver paid the mountain raiders to attack, so they lay the blame at Ver's feet. The regent did, indeed, pay the raiders, which Laurent knows and sets out to prove. While searching for the people responsible for the initial attack, Laurent and Damon come across the Achilleans, most likely moving to rendezvous with the local lord. They're careful to avoid the scouts, but happenstance results in one man stumbling upon them and attempting to kill Laurent, but Damon kills him first. All of this makes perfect sense in the moment, but at the very end of the book, we find out that way back toward the beginning of the book, Laurent sent a message to these very Achilleans asking them for aid, to which they seemingly agreed since they show up where he told them to. So, in retrospect, he was hiding from his allies and one of them nearly killed him. Why? It's not exactly a plot hole. There are certainly ways it could be explained, but I mostly think it's an oversight necessary to surprise the reader and make Laurent look clever. And, show that Damon is willing to kill one of his own people to protect Laurent. I did enjoy this book, but I do think some of the twists in the back and forth between Prince and Regent went a little too far. I realize these two have been playing this game for years, but the degree to which they would have to know what the other would do and plan for it without the other knowing or interceding directly seems impossible. I also dislike how willing everyone in Ver seems to be to overthrow their rightful monarch. The regent's job is to hold the throne in trust until the underage prince can come of age, But when the regent accuses Laurent of treason literal months before his ascension, nobody stops to consider that it might be a coup. Or at least, if they do think about it, they clearly don't care. That's all I have to say about Prince's Gambit. If you like this video, I hope you'll watch more in the future. Thanks for watching this one. Bye!